guys, what a morning I already had. I just grunted that buck in. It's too dark. I don't know what buck it was. He had a decent rack on him, and it was too dark to shoot. I couldn't see my pins. I don't know what time it is, but it's still too dark. He went by the trail camera. I hope he wasn't the 7 or the 8-pointer, but he had a decent rack. I called him right under my tree. I'm pretty sure I got him on the trail camera. And then when I came into the tree this morning, I've been sitting here freezing because all I had was my base layer on. I had a deer come up to me around my tree and sat here for about 2 hours, or at least an hour and a half, just around my tree. I had to stay completely still. I couldn't get my clothes on. I couldn't get my heated vest on, so I was freezing here for an hour and a half. Finally, I just got dressed and decided to just hit the grunt call, and he came as soon as I started calling. So I'm going to try again once it gets lighter out to see if I can bring that buck back. But he looked like a good buck. I'm bummed because it was too dark, and I don't want to shoot a deer that's too small. But it is what it is, guys. But yeah, what an interesting morning. All right. Fuck. Just fucking called him in again. Damn it. I just called him in again, and he flew by me. Can't tell what buck it is. He looks like a shooter. Man. I just called this buck in for the second time. This time he flew by me, running and grunting. I couldn't grab my bow fast enough to draw. By the time he was under me, he was already by me. He's coming back around, so I'm gonna see if I can put him down. He definitely looks like a shooter. I think he's a 7-point. He's behind my tree right now. Damn, he's too close. That's not the buck I'm looking for. I haven't seen that buck on camera. I don't know. He's a little too small. He doesn't look like my 7. No way. Or the other 8-pointer, but he's a decent buck. I called this buck in 3 times. Finally got a good visual on him. He's not any of my target bucks. He looks a little small. He looks like he's a 6 or something like that, but he's gonna be a good buck, so I'm leaving him alone. I had him right under my tree, literally right under my tree, guys. I called him right in, so I'm gonna see if I can call something else in, but I haven't seen that buck before. So that's what's important about the rut, is that you just never know what's gonna show up. And I'm betting that he was the buck that was under my tree this morning. I think that was the buck. Had to be, because I called him right in. This is the third time I called that buck in already. So I'm glad I got a good visual on him. I thought about taking a shot, but I had him at 15 yards. But under my tree is, you can see, too close. I mean, it's too steep of a shot. So, yeah, guys. He came right in onto my path. Didn't win me nothing, so that's really good. I'm gonna do some grunting probably in about a half hour or so, and see if I can call another big one in. But I'm looking for that 7 or that 8-pointer. But wow, it's one of an exciting morning so far. Awesome, awesome. Small buck right here, guys. I have multiple bucks around me right now. They all came to the calling. Little spike buck. Alright guys, nothing since. I grunted a few times and nothing. So, I keep thinking about that buck, and, I didn't really get a good look at him when I first saw him at, first light. I mean, it was still very dark. I couldn't tell if it was a shooter or not. I haven't seen that buck on camera before. I'm almost positive of it, but I gotta check my camera because he walked right in front of it. He wasn't the 8 or the 7, so, but he didn't seem big enough. I mean, when it's big enough. I mean, a lot of guys would have shot that buck easily, no problem, but, I'm targeting those bigger animals, and if I didn't have a buck, then he probably would have went down, but I didn't really have a lot of opportunities to shoot him other than the first time I saw him when it was still dark. The second time I called him in, he flew by me. I don't even know if I got it on camera. It was so fast. I had my bow in my hand. I thought about drawing back, but he was already gone. I didn't want to stop him because it was too steep of a shot. And then when I called again, he looped back around, and that's when he literally went right under my tree. And I mean, right under my tree. So, again, I can't take that shot. I'm 30 feet to my feet. I mean, that's too steep of a shot. So, but yeah, so then that little buck came through after I grunted. So there's been a lot of activity today in the woods, guys. The bigger bucks right now, because it's the lockdown, are more than likely with does. Those are the subordinate bucks which are searching for does right now. And that's why a lot of little bucks get killed this time of year, because those are the ones that are cruising. Those are the ones that are without does, because a dominant buck can just take a doe away from any one of those smaller bucks easily. So, but yeah, you're gonna see a lot of different animals come by, hopefully, you know, searching through the month of November into December. So I'm actually hoping for the post rut, or the late rut, I guess you can call it, in late November, early December, because that's when those bigger ones are on their feet looking for that last doe. But you never know. You know, in between does, that big buck can be searching if he hasn't found any does, and hopefully he searches right under my tree. So, all right, guys, I'm gonna sit tight, and then when I get back to the car, I'll let you know what's going on. Hey guys, what's going on? All right, I'm driving home now, and it's about a little after 9, I guess. Very interesting morning. You know, again, I had that buck early this morning show up under my tree. I can hear him. He was pacing. I couldn't even get dressed. I didn't want to move just in case it was, you know, one of my target bucks. You know, I called that buck in 3 different times this morning, and you know, the first time I saw him, I really couldn't make out what he was. You know, he looked like a 6 or a 7 or something like that, but he wasn't one of my targets. He's a little bit on the smaller side. If I didn't have the, you know, didn't shoot the mature one I shot last week, I may have pulled the trigger on that one. But anyway, yeah, then I ended up calling him 3 times. He came under the tree, and then I finally got a good look at him. But yeah, then that little one came through as well. So all in all, it was a pretty good hunt. You know, they're definitely on their feet. I just checked trail cameras, and I had a few other bucks at different locations. One of them has 1 antler, little 6-pointer, 1 antler on his head. So, but yeah, guys, I only have a few more days left of my rutcation. So once it's over, I'm back to the grind, and you know, but I am looking forward to getting back to work. I definitely am. But I'm still gonna hunt. I'll still be hunting as long as I possibly can, and as long as I have that 1 tag in my pocket, because I definitely want that bigger buck, that big 7 or that big other 8 that's in there. But yeah, so guys, I appreciate you watching. If you like what you see, please subscribe. You know, it's free. All you gotta do is tap that button. All right, guys, talk soon.